Uninhibited, uncompromising, that rushes through your head like a freight train. Hang on for the ride. America's first competition talk show. You're in the hub.
Good day and welcome to the Hub Internet Show. I'm your host, Joel Aaron. All this week, we've got a brand new panel of experts, semi-experts, whatever you want to call them. We got Brett, who spends most of his days out in the wild outdoors, or as much of them as he possibly can get himself into. Joe, who is who's just a deck of cards himself. You know, he's a magic guy. So Joe's on the program, and Michael, who's on the panel all week long, one of the Tea Party enthusiasts around the state of Georgia, which is where we film the show. A little bit later on in the segment, we're going to have Joe defending his seat from a couple weeks ago when you voted him to stay on the panel for one more week. He's going to defend his seat during the Faceoff Debate, see if he can get in a regular rotation. Or Brett, the great outdoorsman, is going to see if he can take him down. Congratulations goes out to Neil for getting your vote last week and beating Heidi. That's the way the game is played. Now let's get right into it because the summer is upon us, and a lot of students, college students right now, are out looking for work, looking for the summer job and the temporary work and that type of thing. And honestly, they're having a hard time finding work this year, as one might imagine. I mean, harder than even normal because over the last couple of years with the recession where it is, they're entering jobs which typically, if I'm in college, I'm working a amusement theme park related job or an amusement related job or a restaurant gig or something like that temporarily. But it was funny because a couple of years earlier this year, actually, the decision was made to say that we were pulling out of an economic recession based on the number of jobs created or saved in the country, which was kind of a funny thing because how can I save a job that was never created to begin with? They never answered that question for me. But the truth of the matter is, when they looked at that category, everything tended to lean towards jobs saved, not jobs created. Until last month, when the figures came out and we learned the president said that we created 420,000 new jobs in the economy, which all happen to be government jobs, Census Bureau jobs and things like that. So, Michael, I mean, you just finished school, and you're out there trying to make it happen right now. These statistics are crazy. It's never been, they're saying this is the worst job climate for college students since 1969.
Yeah, I can confirm that it absolutely is. I have just finished college. I have no personal debt. I have 2 college degrees. I have a resume showing that I've worked the entire time that I was in school. I speak pretty good English, and those of you playing along at home can already tell I'm incredibly good looking. If I can't find a job, I don't know who can.
Nobody can.
I put in 3 applications last night to deliver pizzas, and I'm still waiting to hear back from those.
I didn't want to bring him in just to depress you, but this is a physical embodiment of how bad things are out there right now, is Michael, because you're right. I mean, you said it, and I know you're depressing all the folks trying to get jobs. They can't live up to your acumen.
Absolutely.
But that's the nature of the game. Brett, you still have work because there's still the great outdoors, but if you were out of work,
I wish I did that for a living.
It would, but you're out of school, I'm assuming, at this point.
Yeah, I've been with the same company 20 years, so
okay. I'm
not facing quite that same challenge.
Well, it's made more difficult in that private companies can't have college students intern anymore. This was something that came out, one of the little nuances that came out in the health care bill earlier this year. We think we're passing health care legislation. Lo and behold, we realize that we're actually passing POTUS legislation, which is outlawing private companies from having interns work for the summer. Mm-hmm. So they can't even get an internship, at this point, and build the type of relationships they would build to get some job.
That's just one of many little surprises that keeps dropping out of this whole healthcare
2,700
debacle.
Pages, 2,700 surprises.
About the plans that you can keep that you really can't and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You're also going to see, instead of these lower paying jobs, people going more and more to subcontracting out 1099 stuff because of the increase of benefit costs. As for myself, I'm an entrepreneur. I work for myself. I'm one employee, and I'm certainly... There's 2 tasks in my business that I would love to hire someone to do. neither one of them will be a hired job. They will be subcontracted out on a task-by-task basis. There's no way I'm getting into this mess.
Well, and it's kind of funny. I mean, what kind of industries? I guess we've got innovation, they say, is what gets you out of any kind of recession, and that usually happens in small to medium-sized businesses first. So what kind of, we're looking at the 21st century, what kind of innovation are we going to have now? I'm thinking we're going to create entire new industries like, I don't know, international real estate brokering, or making fire without matches, or vacuum packing veggie companies again. Before this is all over, apocalypse now.
Powdered water.
Right? Powdered water. Bottled water before powdered water now. So,
well, I'm going to just pop in. One of the things that I've seen, though, is on the entrepreneur side is an increase in the number of people looking for training on how to get government contracts, which is a disaster waiting to happen. That's a time bomb in the economy. The more we depend on the government paying us money, it's pretend entrepreneurship. It's not real.
Well, and the other thing is there are a lot of industries right now that, quite frankly, the reverse is true. If you have credentials, if you're new, if you're younger, you actually have a step over and above somebody who's been in the industry for a long time. Teachers, nurses, things like that right now. I've got two friends that I've spoken with in the last 2 weeks. They were in the industry. They've been nurses for 20 years. Mm-hmm. They were let go 6 months ago. They're back in school learning how to be teachers now because they have nursing students that have finished up and they can get them on the cheap.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the industry you're in.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're going to have a face-off debate now. It's going to be Joe defending his seat against Brett. And, okay, dirty little secret if you haven't figured this out already. All week long, we wear the same outfits. So, if you're kind of an intelligent person, you might think, oh, my goodness, maybe they don't record this every night. Well, what do you know? That Tuesday nights typically for the program. Well, guess what? The president is gearing up to give his speech on the oil crisis going on in the Gulf right now. And just a little bit, we're going to crawl up inside his head tonight. I just thought this would be fun. The show is being recorded prior to his speech. So, Joe, by the time this comes out in the morning, it will be after the speech. So.
Okay.
Did the president, did he say what you thought he would say? I will go there. Do you think the president is capable of making the case? Did he make the case well enough or not? Project yourself into his head and try to say if you think he's going to come out swinging and come out and hit a home run tonight, or if he's going to tuck his tail between his legs before it's all over. 90 seconds on the clock, prejudging the president's speech on the oil crisis. Joe, you get the first say. 90 seconds on the clock, 45 seconds per person. Go.
My initial response is he is in defense mode. He knows he's got to clean up this whole ass-kicking little thing that he stepped in, but he's also got to try to convince and rewrite enough history to let everybody think he's really been working on this since day one, minute one. He will successfully get enough people in the media to believe that he can blame this on legislation passed by the previous administration. There will be quite a number of allegations of cozying up, secret deals, and winks and handshakes between the Bush administration and the oil companies. Big oil will be demonized, but he will save enough so that he can be magnanimous in partnering with them to clean up, and that's what I think is going to happen.
All right. So it's going to be about peeing and hawing. Brett, you get 45 seconds to rebut. Go.
There's not a lot to rebut to that. I agree with a lot of what he's saying. I think there'll be a lot of avoidance. Again, it's going to be a catastrophic thing in the end. Anybody that can see through it, I think he's going to really expose himself for really the lies in the administration on this issue, the lies with oil companies, the cover-up. I think and I hope that a lot of people, even those that are looking for jobs that voted for him, are going to see through it after tonight.
Yeah. All right. Well, time will tell. Actually, you'll know by in the morning. And who won the debate? Was it Joe? Was it Brett? Was it the president? We'll let you know next week on the program. See you tomorrow on the Hub.